My name is Therese Zuanetti, and I'm appealing to the public, anyone out there that can help us. The story is this: 8 weeks ago, our mother was admitted to the Gold Coast Unuversity Hospital for gastro. Since then, she had gotten influenza B, amongst other things, from the hospital itself. Now, initially, a certain doctor from the Gold Coast Hospital who was treating my mother, he was not treating her properly, so there was lack of care there. He was not giving her any medication. If anything, he took medication off her, which had made her get worse. Now, I'm just appealing to anyone that could really help us. What's happened up to date? Now, every time there was a problem, we would write to the liaison office of the Gold Coast Hospital. We would meet up with management. Now, instead of management helping us fix up the problem, they made it worse. We would be harassed, intimidated and bullied by staff, by them continuously. Every time there was a problem, instead of helping us, this is what they did to us. Now, this has happened a few times. We did the Ryan's Rule a couple of times as well. Now, after that, we said to them, look, if you can't treat our mother, please let us take her to another hospital if you don't have, the capacity to be able to help her. They refused to do that. So what happened? My brother took it upon himself to contact a hospital twice. He contacted them, they accepted it in writing. Then after that, they rang management at the Gold Coast University Hospital, and they did something on their end so they don't take my mother. What I'm trying to say to you is this: why stop us from taking our mother to another hospital? There's nothing wrong, like she could be transferred, no problems whatsoever. So then we sat with them again and we said to them, look, why are you doing this? And they said, oh, look, you can take her to another hospital. But we said, look, we have tried all this. They said, we've tried to do this, but you have blocked us. And then we said to them, look, if you don't want to, then we'll just organise ourselves an ambulance or whatever, and we'll get our mother transferred to another hospital. So what they did last Friday, they went off pretending that they are trying to help us, trying to help my mother. Instead, they contacted the public guardian. Now, my mother has myself, my brother, my 2 children who are police officers, and my other daughter, right? So she has all of us there. So what they did, they came in with an interim order telling us that now the public guardian is in charge of your mother. How absurd is this? Can you believe this is happening in Australia? This is happening in Queensland. They have taken our mother captive. We cannot see our mother. So after that, we've disputed it. I have contacted the health minister. Now, we're still waiting. It's taken too long. We need immediate action. I've contacted the Senator Murray Watts. I've contacted ADA. I've contacted media. I've contacted Carers Queensland. I've contacted so many people. We need help, for goodness sake. Please help us. Now, what's been happening today? They just came across, we've got a meeting. So today we had a meeting. They had a letter there to tell us that we can only come and see our mother once a day. Because what happened, because of the severity of the situation, and we're too scared that they would give her something, as you know, when they're elderly, they want to dispose of the elderly. And this is exactly what's going on here. This is why we're stressed. Because initially the doctor that we were dealing with, he said to us, when we discussed our mum's situation, he wasn't treating her properly. All he said to us, look, I would not resuscitate. If your mother died now, I would not resuscitate. And we said to him, you can't make that decision. He said, yes, I can. I can make the decision and I won't get into trouble. So we met with management again, and then we put it to them. They put it to us in writing, and then they said, okay, they will resuscitate. What I'm trying to say about this particular management, they are using their power and they're abusing it. They don't want us near my mother so they can hurt my mother. Today, we were asked, I was staying in the hospital for nearly 2 weeks, made no trouble, absolutely nothing, just stayed in the room with my poor mother, right? Just to ensure she was okay, look after her, care for her. Absolutely nothing. I did nothing wrong. So what happened from these meetings when they first started, they got security, 2 or 3 security guards, mind you. What are we going to do? Just so they can intimidate and harass us. And since then, they've had a security guard in the ward Only since that time, all this started. They are trying to cover their ass by trying to turn the wheel around and say that we are bad. I cannot believe that people in this sort of position can have so much power to hurt someone, to hurt a family, to deprive us. Today they tell us you can only come in there, you can only come from 10 to 2, and then you have to leave. And if you do not leave, you are going to be restrained. And this is not the first time we have been threatened by these people. We will restrain you. For what? We're not doing anything. So then we said to them, I'm not going. So then came 2 o'clock. The security guys came, and I understand they were doing their job, and they said to us, we have to leave. But before that, I had rung 000. I rang the police because I was really scared. We were scared that they're going to get these guys to bash us or something. I was just so scared for our life. So we rang 000. And what happened from there, the police came later whilst we were talking to security. Now, security said to us, you must leave. And if you do not leave the premises now, then you're not, and if we have to call the police, we're not going to allow you back in. And as you can understand, this is my mother. My mother's ill. And actually, my mother is getting better. And that's probably what they're bloody worried about, because all throughout this whole ordeal, all they've said is, your mother is going to die. That is the way they deal with the elderly, okay? They want to kill the elderly, and that's been as blunt as possible. Look at the elderly abuse. So what happened at the end of this? I wasn't going to go. I told my brother, I want you to go, so at least you can come back and see my mother. My brother went, and then the police officers, of whom I contacted for protection, came in, and then my brother was trying to relay to me, that I should be talking to the police officers. I did adhere to that. The police officers were wonderful. They listened. The point I'm trying to get through here is this. What they've done now, after they've said we can come back every day between 10 and 2, now they've turned and twisted the whole thing again. They've turned around now. The police officers came back after they kicked us out, and we went out without any hassle, right? After we did that, then the police officers came back and they said, because you didn't leave before 2 o'clock, you are no longer allowed in the hospital to see your mother, for goodness sake. But my brother he was ready, he was gone, he went out, but he was trying to talk to the police officer and talk to me, so there's no problems that are going to be caused any further. And then after that, then they also said to the police officer, because they contacted the police, then I did not adhere to their requests. That is a lie. I contacted the police. I contacted 000 for protection. So everything they've done is a lie. Every time I put in a complaint to the liaison officer, that's what they're there for goodness sake, is if there's a problem, for them to listen to you and rectify it. These people, I'm telling you, they are a disgrace. I cannot believe that these people have this control. This is all about covering up, because this particular doctor was trying to kill my mother, until my brother, who has a lot of medical history and he's very good, my mother's been in his care for 8 years. He administers her medication. He does absolutely everything. So when the doctors come around, he talks to them and just says what's going on to assist them, right? Because after knowing this previous doctor was not doing anything to help my mother, then of course, we didn't want him helping mum in any way or form. So what they're doing now, they're trying to turn and twist everything by saying, we are going in there, we are making trouble, we're causing staff to be scared. They are totally turned it around. Every time that we have a meeting with these people, the staff turn on us. They become very hostile, and today they said, some of the staff weren't coming in today because they're afraid of us. For goodness sake, dear Lord, I mean, honestly, we just want to see our mother and make sure our mother is okay. Someone has to please, I want you to please share this on everything you have got. And I'm telling you, this is not just about myself, my brother, or my mother. Remember one thing, you've all got a family, okay? You've all got elderly parents. Just remember, if you are in this situation, you would appealing, and I can tell you I would be there. And can I tell you another thing? I would like to take this matter further. I would like to fight for the elderly that are being abused in the retirement homes, the elderly that are going to hospital, they're okay, and then the next minute, they're dead. You know why? Because they're injecting them with something. My father, 8 years ago, he had cancer. He was getting better. Everything was fine. I'd seen him 7 hours beforehand. He was totally drugged out. He was in rehab. 7 hours later, we get a phone call. Your father is dead. And do you not think what they did to him? Because when they are old, as this previous doctor said, is when they're old, they don't worry about it. They don't want to resuscitate. I just want to stress something which is extremely important that people understand. If a person is not well and really not well and you not to resuscitate, I can understand. But the way these people have come about, you are old, you've lived your life, we don't want to spend any more government money on you, we don't want to do anything, so it's time for you to go. How do you know? I'm sure so many of you have experienced this situation. So many have. I will be the one that will speak for everybody. Please, you help me and I will help you. I will do anything. We've contacted all the government entities and it's taking time. This person is in cahoots, this guardian's in cahoots with the hospital. So they can take over, they've taken over mum's care so they can dispose of my mother. I beg you, dear friends, I beg the public, please, please, this is a story. It's not about the cat ran after the dog and that makes bloody news flash. This is a story. People's lives are at its sake. Please, I'm sorry, I'm angry, and please, I beg you all, please share this. Please, I beg you, help us save my mother, help us save your parents. And that's basically what it's all about. I will do whatever it takes to help other people, but I beg you, please help us. Thank you. And share it. Please share it. Please, I beg you, share it.